So after creating this initial prototype and talking to staff about what options would be helpful and what information would be good to initially have about visitors coming to the shelter, we decided to go to the actual shelter and have a few people test this check-in and just see how effective it was and just get a chance to observe how they went through the process, and then also talk to staff about how effective they thought it actually was. So initially, we found that people were having a bit of a confusing time if they multiple options applied, whether or not they had to pick one, or with later in the check-in process, if they were a Bloomington resident and they were a student, they weren't sure which one to pick, and so this just saying that they could select options that apply seemed to just clear up that little bit of confusion. So they would again fill in their name, their email address, understand that they could select multiple options, and then look at their reason for visiting. And so if they were volunteering, looking for information about that, or just wanting to see animals for fun, or reporting a missing animal or some other option, they could just click that and then check in. And then that would give staff a heads up about what they're needing, how they can provide services for them, how long it will take, because if they're looking to adopt, that's going to be a bigger process than if they just need volunteer information. They can direct them to the website or what they need. So if they were looking to adopt, however, they would click on that, and there's a few more options that we decided to add. So they would again just pick their living situation, if they lived in a house in Bloomington, or they had a temporary apartment, or permanent apartment even, or like if they had roommates, they could select multiple. Also, staff wanted to know what type of animals people were coming in to look at, so whether or not people in Bloomington who maybe wanted a dog, if that seemed to be the trend, or if people were looking for cats mostly, or if people even knew that they had rabbits to adopt, or some other situation. This would just kind of give them a general idea about that, so they could add what other pets they have, a little brief bit about their experience with animals, and whether or not they grew up with a dog, or this is their first pet, or what that looks like. And they could also again put their activity level. And something that staff also said would be more helpful is just kind of getting a better brief demographic on who's visiting, because with the college nearby, there seems to be a lot of students visiting, but also a lot of townies and permanent residents. So just having a general idea of just splitting their visitors and just knowing who is who in that category, that would help them understand, is it students who are tending to look for cats, or students who want to volunteer, or just kind of give them a better idea about who is coming in and how they can use that extra information to better get an understanding of what services are trying to provide for who. So after selecting all this information, they would then check in, and this would go to the front desk, where they could get a brief idea about their visitor, and then let the volunteers know if they need to talk to them about the adoption process, or just go from there.